Jay, I know you guys have probably had some time to go over the tape.
Yep.
Anything new reveal itself, or what are your thoughts the morning after?
Well, we certainly got to be a whole lot better than we were yesterday, and for us, our focus going to our checking and defensive skills can improve greatly, and that's where we'll be going with our group.
What did you think of Mike Smith and Willie play in Game 2?
Yeah, I thought Mike Smith was excellent for us all playoffs long. Last night, I didn't think we did much as a team to help him out in certain situations. We'll determine Mike's status and Mikko's status tomorrow.
Jay, is this an execution or a structure thing, or do you have to actually change things to try to slow them down?
Well,
and how difficult is it at this time of year to tweak more than a little bit?
Yeah, I think if you've gone out and you've performed at the level you want to perform, and you give up 7 goals, then it's worrisome. But for us, we don't feel that we executed at the level that we know we can execute at, specifically on the defensive side of things. And for us, there's some things that we have to clean up in our game. Now, that's on the negative side of things. On the positive side of things, we found a way to fight our way back, and that's positive and everything like that. But we got way behind early. That doesn't set us up for success. We found a way to score 6 goals. That's a positive sign. But for us, our execution and attention to detail with our checking and our fundamental defensive skills can improve.
So are you basically saying the same thing to the players that you said to them after the 9-6 game in Calgary?
Well, I think there were some different things that showed up in that game. It's a different opponent, different strengths of a different opponent. It's not just rinse and repeat with that message, but what I liked was our stick-to-itiveness on a tough night. It wasn't going our way. We knew that, but I think it's a sign of a good team and good group when you can stick to something. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do better to ensure that we don't dig ourselves the hole we dug ourselves last night.
Normally when you play, you're the faster team on the ice. Last night it looked a lot of the game that they were a much faster team. Is that something that you have to adjust to, or how do you counteract that?
I think both teams have good speed. I think we did a lot of things with speed that gave them some issues. They did some things with speed that gave us issues. We're in the Final Four of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You're playing good teams here, and this team can skate, but so can we.
Jay, one of the positives was you got some better results out of your bottom 6 guys in terms of the McLeod, Fogle, and Ryan scoring goals. Mm-hmm. Was that a positive in a
Yeah,
loss?
I think it's a positive. I think
you needed that, obviously.
Yeah, I think we did get some contributions up and down our lineup. As I said, our focus is not going to the stuff we created, the 6 goals and everything like that. Our focus is going to the defensive side of things. We know we can be better. To a man, we can be better, and that's up and down our lineup. And I think if we do that, we feel comfortable in the offensive zone in terms of when we get our chances.
Jay, you said last night that Colorado they're a different animal.
Yeah.
And just a thought on puck maintenance, specific to the fact that they got 3D that can not only transition but also transport.
Yeah.
And change the dynamic when they're on the
Yeah, I think puck management's a key against this group. I think any defenseman in the National Hockey League that is given a puck and their eyes are facing up ice, that's a challenge. And then you look at their decor. If you give them the puck and their eyes are staring up ice, they can do some things. We think it's to our advantage to make sure that they have to turn and go back and face their end, so that they have to solve some problems. And certainly puck management's an area that we can be better in.
So we've done this press conference like 3 times now, right? After the first game, how come we didn't start? And the micro level after a lot of games, you guys have said, man, we got to start better than this. Is this part of your team's DNA that you just don't jump into series the way maybe other teams do?
Well, this team has lost 3 game number 1s. I can't tell you that we haven't done that. That's a fact. I think in all 3 of those games, they were tied or within 1 goal. So did we play perfectly? We didn't play perfectly. We know we can be better, just like we could be better after game 1 versus LA. just like we could be better after game 1 versus Calgary. So that is what it is. You got to give credit to the other teams sometimes too, and they did some good things.
Jay, you've been asked about the speed of the Avalanche, and they're maybe a little bit different opponent than the other two that you faced in these playoffs. I just wonder about you've got a couple of guys that have been scratched that are known more for their speed. Do you think this is maybe a chance to inject a little bit more speed into your bottom six?
I think we have a lot of really good players at our disposal, DNB, and that's the luxury of our coaching staff, is that we have some guys that are certain ingredients that have the trust of the coaching staff. We feel comfortable with everybody at our disposal.
I think McCarr was out against McDavid, 14 minutes, 5-on-5, 19, all situations. Just what did you think of that matchup? And was there a difference?
Well, I saw
first period
Connor
and the
get
third?
3 points in the game, I think, right? So he did a lot of really good things offensively. I think their line had some good moments on offense. Defensively is where, just like with the entire group, that group can improve, and they know that. And like I said, to a man, we can all be better.
Jay, what do you want to see more of from Jesse Pugliarvi, who played 7.5?
I thought that line was excellent last night, actually. I thought they did some really good things. I thought Jesse, when he's moving his feet, is a force to handle down low. I was quite comfortable with that line last night.
7.5 minutes.
Sometimes, Jim, that's the way the minutes work out, but I was quite comfortable with that line last night.
What's the key to bouncing back in the second game?
Well, I think anytime you're working your way through a playoff series, it's about which team can evolve, which team can make subtle adjustments to improve. And that's what we've been about for the last 3 months. We're talking about getting better on a daily basis. So today we're going to sit down, we're going to have meetings with our group of players. We're going to give them something that they can hang their hats on, and we're going to look to improve heading into tomorrow night.
When you have a chaotic game like that, I don't know how much you'll be willing to share, but what's your process in breaking it down? Like, do you look at period to period? Are you looking at specific matchups? Like, we're all at 40,000 feet questions, and maybe that's, but I'm just curious, what's your process? Like, what areas of the game did you like at what times, and what didn't you? How much will you be willing to share that?
Well, I think I would tell you that, and probably the local media can attest, is that I've been very, very consistent in our messaging, very consistent in our process. So our process doesn't change whether it's a chaotic game like you mentioned. We go through our work, every inch of film. We work to make sure we're giving our players good information, and we're looking to improve. We're consistent in our process, and we're looking for consistent progress.
I'll ask it this way, Jay. Without a practice today to maybe go out and work on those things fundamentally in the moment, how critical is video? And is there temptation, you have to not overdo it at the same time, that balance there?
Yeah, I think you got to, give everything, or give your players everything they need and nothing they don't need. And we're talking about consistency in our process. That's been our process the entire playoffs. Typically, we take the next day to make sure we're resting and resetting physically, mentally, and emotionally, and then we head into the next game. And that has been our process.
Okay, well, you pulled Mike, and he was not at fault. It didn't look like it. Was
Yeah.
just like our team is not playing good?
Yeah.
I got to do something here. I'm not hanging this guy out. The chances were just too good. Was that what you were thinking?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Jim. Yeah, I just wanted to slow the game down a little bit, and it had nothing to do with Mike's play. We didn't do a good enough job in front of him, and as I said, to a man, we can all be better.
That's a unique sort of situation where he's had some games that just, really went the wrong way and he had to give away, and you guys put him back in there without a second's worth of hesitation, knowing that what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, I think with Mike Smith, you know what you're getting. You talk about someone who's consistent in his process. Mike Smith is a true professional. He's able to have a short memory on some things, and he's going to work to be the best that he can be.
What differences do you see between Kemper and Francouz?
Well, I've seen Francouz a lot in the American Hockey League, so I have a good understanding of what he brings to the table. He's a right-handed glove. He's not the same size as Darcy Kemper, and those would be the major differences. I'm not going to go into our book on Pavel Francouz.
What did you think? Mikko's game was quite good when he came in relief.
Yeah, I thought Mikko gave us a chance to
Yeah.
win the game. He made some saves at the right time. We still weren't as clean defensively as myself or our coaching staff would want, but he made some big saves, and in the end, we found a way to make it a 7-6 hockey game, and we had a couple grade A's to tie that up. We didn't do it. Sometimes you get what you earn in hockey, and we weren't as good as we needed to be last night. We all know that.
Jay, I know it's not a new subject, but after 13 games, Connor McDavid, he's only 1 point away of 30 points.
Yeah.
We're still amazed by the way he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, he finds a way to put teams on their back foot. He makes plays. Even when our team isn't playing at the level we know we can play at as a team, his plays, his leadership gave us a chance to crawl back into that game. And as I said, we were 1 goal down in the third period. Now, that said, I also know the type of person and leader he is, and he knows, just like the rest of our group knows, we got to be a whole lot better, and it starts in the defensive end.
What was the reasoning for switching back to Kane playing with Connor and Leon when Hyman was?
You know what? Just the way that game was going. Sometimes you move the chess pieces around, and we were looking for a little bit of a spark, and we got one. And it just didn't materialize in a win for us.
Do you expect part of the adjustment from your team in Game 2 to be different because they know how volatile? Obviously that crowd is, and just they know what's going to be coming at them from the other side.
Yeah, I didn't think that the building was intimidating in any way. Not to our team. We got a lot of people with a lot of experience. We've been in some 2 tough buildings already. In terms of understanding what's coming at you, I think Game 1 is typically that kind of feel out process. And in the end, as well as Colorado was able to build a lead on us, we're putting our focus on ourselves and where we can be a whole lot better. And as I've said here throughout this press conference, it begins with our checking and our fundamental defensive skills.